All right, what's happening, guys? Welcome back. This segment, we're going to talk about whether or not Colby Covington's mixed martial arts career is over. Will he ever reach the top? Will he ever reach the pinnacle of the sport and win gold? He's 36 years old right now. As of today, his record is 17 wins, 5 losses. He is on a 2-fight skid, losing, of course, his last outing to Joaquin Buckley. Before that, to the champ Leon Edwards. In his last 6 fights, he's lost 4 times. But quickly, let's talk about the quality of opponents he's lost to. So Buckley is on a tear. He's on the come up. He's been on a great run since he's dropped down to 170. Leon Edwards, of course, the champ of welterweight. And Colby has lost twice to Kamaru Usman. I would say an all-time great of mixed martial arts. Certainly at welterweight, I would argue in general. Usman certainly will not go down as average. I'll just say that. All right, so diving into this a little bit further, let's look at how he's losing. Back at UFC 245, he lost via TKO to Usman. He lost a unanimous decision to Usman at UFC 268. He lost a unanimous decision to Leon Edwards at UFC 296. And against Buckley, it was a TKO doctor stoppage due to that cut on his eyelid. But he was getting whooped up on up until the point they stopped the fight. It was a 5-round fight. You never know what could happen. You can't say that it's impossible that Colby would have turned it around in the 4th and 5th round. Crazier things have happened in the sport, but as that fight was going, it looked like he was going to lose soundly. So without dragging out this video, at this point, what we've seen from Colby Covington, will he ever achieve UFC gold, be the champion of the welterweight division? Not trying to be negative, but my honest opinion, I'm going to say it's unlikely. He's technically out of his physical prime. Now, everybody's different. Everybody has different physiology. People hit primes at a different point. What's a fighter's physical prime versus a fighter's fight prime? Sometimes you could be a little bit older and be out of your physical prime, but all your skills come together, your experience matched with your physical ability at the time, and you can actually be a better fighter being older than when you were younger with less experience and less skill. But physically at 36, scientifically, yes, he should be out of his physical prime. That means you're not going to be as fast, you're not going to be as explosive, you should be losing some strength, even aggression, because your testosterone is supposed to drop, not by a drastic amount at 36, but things are certainly on a decline. Now, Colby is a accomplished wrestler, he's a skilled wrestler, and he's fallen in love with his striking. I think he has to go back more to a very grappling based, very wrestling based style to save his brain and chin, because guys are just better than him on the feet. I mean, he's not terrible at this point. He poses some threat. Before, earlier in his career, I remember him kind of looking uncomfortable standing, and he used to shoot more. He used to rely on his wrestling and grappling more, and he was dominating. And I think it's a great thing that he improved standing, but your bread and butter is wrestling, man. Wrestling, melting dudes, as he says, putting that pressure, making them grapple, making them work, making them have their energy sapped. And as the fight goes on with his great cardio, Colby has some of the best cardio we've ever seen in a sport. You just break guys. That's how he won a lot of his fights. And I don't think that guys are getting so good with the takedown defense. I think mostly it's because Colby Covington is not being aggressive enough with his wrestling. He even said it. He didn't care if he missed the first takedown, the second, or the third. He'll get you on the 4th and 5th. And he has to go back to that relentless grappling wrestling style if he wants to start accumulating wins again. I think it's great again that he can actually stand and pose some kind of a threat, not be a fish out of water. But I don't think that's ever really going to be his forte, standing. Some guys could transition to being very dangerous, effective strikers because they have power, like Kamaru Usman, pretty formidable standing. But Usman just has like God-given power, and Colby just doesn't hit like that. Colby's volume, and that works when guys are kind of like already exhausted a bit. Then Colby could kind of like overwhelm them with strikes. But if he can't get guys burnt out like that, he just doesn't really pose a big threat as far as like striking, not one hit or quitter power. If I could put like a percentage on it, ratio, just my personal opinion, could Colby ever win UFC gold, a championship? the championship at 170. I'm going to say like with 70% confidence. Again, my opinion, I don't think he's ever going to be champ, but I would never count anybody out. We've seen some crazy success stories in mixed martial arts. I mean, from Randy Couture, you got Michael Bisping, you got Charles Oliveira, Glover Teixeira. Look at Poatan right now doing big things. I think he's Colby's age. And of course, all these guys are different circumstances, different fight styles, different abilities. But the similarities are where these guys didn't give up. They were of like a certain age. They were doubted. They were underdogs. And they achieved their goals. So it's certainly not impossible. But if he's ever to be like a super elite again, if he ever was, because a lot of people say that Colby made it to where he's at because of his mouth and the gimmick. And to discount that guy's skill, his toughness and ability, I think that's kind of crazy. Even if you don't like his character, even if you can't stand Colby Covington, that dude he was very good at what he did. And he's super tough and he has a hell of a chin. And he's beat some good guys. The gimmick is definitely up. I don't really think it's hitting like that anymore. People are like hip to it. They're not taking the bait. They're not biting. But he boxed himself in. He kind of has to stay in that gimmick now. He could come out and just be like a regular person. That might work. But again, I think he's kind of like boxed into this persona that he created for himself. And that's how he thinks he's going to get attention. He did a smart thing. He created like a beef with Gilbert Burns, another high profile fighter that's in the running, you know, for that belt. Created some drama. It was about Gilbert Burns leaking Uncle Chael's cell phone. And now Colby wants to avenge Uncle Chael for his cell phone being leaked. Super silly, but it's drama. Drama sells. People get invested with the drama. I think that's kind of like a banger fight. Gilbert Burns versus Colby Covington right now. I read that Colby suspended, I think due to like health reasons because of the damage he took in that Buckley fight, that's good. Let him heal up, let him recover, get a proper training camp. Don't come in short notice and continue on with your career. Again, I don't think it's impossible that he reaches the pinnacle of the sport. I just think it's really unlikely given his trajectory at the moment, his age, the way he's been going. But the key to him being successful, again, I think he really needs to go back to a very wrestling and grappling based style, humble himself a bit, and utilize the striking just to set up the takedowns. But you guys let me know in the comment section, what are your thoughts on Colby Covington? Did you ever think he was elite? Do you even think he's a good fighter? Do you think the gimmick is up? Do you think he'll ever achieve UFC gold, like undisputed champ? What does Colby need to do to be successful again? And where have things been going wrong for him? We'd love to read your opinions. Thanks for listening or watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.